Steel boots stomping, crashing the floor. Two wild Yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two dumb Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, welcome back to the show. This is episode 759 of the Two Dumb Yinzers. I want to say good morning to everybody. Good morning. Welcome back. I want to say good morning to our special in-house guest, Finch. How you doing today, brother?
Doing mighty fine. Just having a nice day so far.
Looking good, well. My man. Looking good. You guys ready for the weekend?
Yeah, ready for a long day tomorrow. Going to be working all day. And then, just relaxing on Sunday. I believe Father's Day is this weekend as well.
It is. It's true. Father's Day this weekend.
Going to see Dad and doing the thing, you know?
Good. Mike, anything for Father's Day planned for you, man?
No, not a single thing planned. Maybe a drink an obscene amount of alcohol.
All right, sounds good.
That sounds nice. Actually, that's
the answer.
Not a bad way to spend a Sunday.
Correct right? Answer.
Good if you only had football, it could be better.
Exactly. Roger Goodell, get on that.
Father's Day. Good morning, everybody on the board. Good morning to John. Good morning to Corey. What's up, everybody? What's up? What up? John says, I think you guys euthanized Derpy. Hey.
Yes.
Don't you worry about it. All you got to know is we've been spending time with the Illuminati people, and Derpy isn't here right now. So I don't know. Do what you want with that, guys. Yo. What's up, Corey Beaver? Great seeing you on the board this morning, as always, sir. Hope everybody's ready for this Father's Day weekend. And if you're not, you have no choice. But good morning. Welcome back. Vegas, what's up? What's good? What's going on with you? We got a lot of stuff that went on between yesterday and today. A lot of things we're going to talk about, guys. But first off, what about Antonio Brown, guys? Antonio Brown being so of course, Friday the 13th, everybody. Just so happens that they are looking for Antonio Brown. They may have found him by now. I don't know what the whole scoop is, but I do know that they were looking for him for possibility of attempted murder. Wow. Yeah. And of course, everybody remembers the incident that happened last month. There was an issue down at a boxing match, and he got in some shit. I do remember that part of it. And then it just come out yesterday that they were looking for him because he was involved. They want to charge him for what is it again, Finch?
Attempted murder.
Jesus,
with a weapon. Attempted murder with a weapon is what I read.
Yeah, he tried to steal the sheriff's gun.
He tried to steal a sheriff's gun?
No kidding. I didn't catch that part.
Wow.
Yeah.
What an absolute legend.
Wow. You're right. I didn't even realize it was like that. I mean,
this is Hernandez level shit right here.
All I know is AB, one of his last tweets was lying on my dick, but it ain't shrinking.
All right. Here's this was the first word that I caught. It was this. Antonio Brown is wanted on criminal charges of attempted murder related to shooting at a celebrity boxing event, per the Washington Post. This was in police in Miami-Dade County are investigating. Brown had previously claimed that he was attacked. Let me see right here. I got this. The warrant, which was signed by a judge Wednesday, lists a charge of attempted murder with a firearm and calls for Brown to post only a $10,000 bond and remain under house arrest pending the trial. Efforts to reach Brown were unsuccessful Thursday evening. It was unclear whether an attorney was representing him. So there you go, guys. Friday the 13th, starting off crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been a crazy week if you just follow the news in general. But here we are, Antonio Brown being sought after for attempted murder. Apparently, Mike is saying he tried to take the sheriff's gun.
Yeah. And like Vegas said, he was jumped. I saw the video that this guy's attacking him. Now, I don't know if it happened after that or like a separate incident happened, because I know that was like mentioned in one of the articles I read as well about that fight. So I'm just trying to piece everything together, and I can't tell if that happened in that incident or sometime after. But yeah, it's just wild what's going on with AB.
Yeah, what do you make of all this, Finch?
The guy, obviously, his mental decline is out there for everyone to see. I don't know if he has CTE. There's something going on with him, man, and I honestly feel bad for the poor guy. Like, it's causing him to make bad decisions and do stupid things, and
Maybe he's just a
now
troublemaker.
He's a troublemaker. I mean, he probably was he known for being a troublemaker before he started playing football when he was a kid or anything. I don't know that.
One thing that I do know is he should be on his hands and knees counting his blessings, because he was a 6th-round pick out of Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, whatever it was.
Central Michigan,
The chance that this guy even got a chance, the chance that he got through, the chance that he was on the Steelers, the chance that it was lucky to have a guy named Ben Roethlisberger to get him the ball as much as he did, and to have the career. He shouldn't really be on his hands and knees being thankful for the life that he had.
It's a shame he can't get himself together. You know what I mean? There's obviously something wrong inside the guy's head, and he needs to just get himself the hell out of the spotlight. He needs to stop talking to anybody, stop talking to public, don't get on social media. He needs to just get himself right. And maybe jail's the right place for him to do such a thing.
Yeah, because I know people will always say, "Oh, he was different after the perfect hit." Like he was like, there's a reason.
Not all the time.
He was the reason he went to Central Michigan. Someone that talented, there's a reason you're going there.
Mike, the exact moment you said perfect, Tortilla Jackson posted perfect in the comments. Like it was the exact moment.
Yeah,
that is
freaky. But there's at Central Michigan, there are issues there as well. I think he went to a prep school. There's issues there as well. Then he went to the Steelers, and they kept that stuff quiet. He would always call himself Mr. Big Chest around when the reporters around. They kept that quiet for a long time. He did weird things, but you do well in the NFL. Teams are going to keep stuff quiet until it becomes a certain point,
until he does something.
And then
really
you kept seeing him getting progressively worse and worse and worse. And then after the perfect hit, it became more known. People like, oh, it's just from the hit, the CTE. There's it was a build up to that point, and now that's just his excuse. It's oh, it's because he got hit in the head a lot. No, he was always this, and it probably exasperated his mental unwellness. But yeah, it's not an excuse.
So there you go, guys. I mean, we come into the weekend.
I like Vegas.
It was quite it was quite the week here in Pittsburgh. For one, you had Aaron Rodgers. Just hold off, Mike. Let us get through the.
I'm sorry. That one just made me laugh.
In just 1 second. It's been quite a week. We've had Aaron Rodgers showing up here. Of course, a big controversial story all the way up until the moment he got here. Mario Lemieux popping up back in the picture, talking about possibly buying the Penguins back. And the big story we didn't even mention yet is the U.S. Open again is back here in Oakmont, here in Pittsburgh, guys. So just to add the Antonio Brown murder story on top of all this, it's been quite an eventful week here in Pittsburgh. That's why we love doing what we do. And again, Mike Finch, the Pittsburgh news, especially in sports, writes itself every day, makes our what it is that we do easy. And here you go again, guys. Aaron Rodgers shows up this week. Mario Lemieux shows up this week. The U.S. Open shows up this week, and of course, a attempted murder charge also shows up this week, guys. So here we go. We're kicked off. We're getting ready for the weekend. A lot of stuff going into the weekend. We're going to talk about today. Mike, let's get on the messages. Where do we want to jump? Where do we want to jump in at here? Let me get all the way back down here. All right. Let's see. Corey Beaver says, John, if they tell you they have to unalive you.
What happened to Derpy?
I hate that term. Yeah. I love Corey, but I hate that term unalive. I just want to bang my head off of something every single time I hear it. I really do.
Unalive. She's a corn star. I hate when people say this.
What? Corn star?
Yeah, because like on TikTok and YouTube, like in some of the algorithms, if you say porn, it gets buried.
Oh,
So
yeah,
people say corn to beat the
algorithm.
Because you got to beat the algorithm. You got to beat the censors. It's
F this algorithm. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah,
right,
right?
guys? F it. Also on the board, let's see. Vegas says, did you see the video? They tried to jump AB and he was just defending himself. Who was that? Was it the police? Is that what's going on?
I think he was talking about the boxing thing previously,
the boxing
right?
thing. Yeah.
So the taking of the police's gun was a whole separate incident, Mike?
Like that's what I was trying to figure out, because I know that happened. Then like this report came out and that jumping was mentioned in the report or in the news article, but the news article tried to pose it as it was like something different. So I just trying to piece it together. The info that I had at the time last I read it was all scattered. There's no clear narrative of like what happened first, second, third.
Wow, I can't wait to catch the story on this.
Yeah.
I mean, if that's a whole separate incident,
or if it was like all happened at once, he grabbed the gun there. But I remember seeing the video. I don't remember him trying to grab a sheriff's gun. I remember people coming breaking it up. So it's like what I'm trying to remember when I've read and the new info. It's I don't have a clear narrative yet.
All right, let's see what else is going on. Maybe we could get some answers on the board.
Yeah.
Vegas also said, "Oh, damn, that's a totally different issue." Oh, yeah, we'll find out. But John says Friday the 13th cost $500,000 to make and gross over $317 million. Great investment movie. One of classic. I mean, come on. As far as slasher flicks, that's up there.
Damn good. Nice honors.
What was it called? Camp Crystal Lake.
Yes.
Crystal Lake. Yep.
You go there and have sex with your girlfriend and get murdered. That was the That was the thrill of it.
Worth it.
Tortilla, what's up, Tortilla? He says, just got here and Mike's talking about his dick already. Yeah, imagine that.
Oh, so it's Friday.
It's Friday,
right? It's a day ending in Y. Would I not be talking about my dick or someone else's dick?
Corey says so. AB is going to give it one last run with Dallas.
That was a good one.
Well, I guess he's not going to be back here. Of course, that was the speculation about a week and a half ago. Was maybe bringing AB and.
I'm so glad we didn't decide on that one, huh?
Less than a week ago, if you think about it, Finch.
Yeah,
because
it was like 5 days ago. Yeah,
Aaron got here. There was talk, and Le'Veon. Let's see if he could get himself into some shit now. Let's see how many Friday the 13th movies are there now? You know what? The last one I watched, and the last time when I was interested in was Jason Takes on Manhattan. You remember how long ago that was? That was the last one that
that's forever ago.
But that was when it was a thing, though. You know what I mean? And then I started getting a little older, and other movies started coming out, the Saw movies, this and that. But Jason Takes Manhattan was, and you know what? I seen that Jason versus Freddy because I thought the concept was cool. Yeah. You know, and then at the very end when Freddy's hand came out and pulled his mask under the ground, I loved it. It was good stuff. I do like Jason movies, no two ways about it. John says AB will use an exhibit with his CTE lawsuit against the NFL. Here's a question, guys. Does this just another thing on top of AB's rap sheet? Is this going to affect his Hall of Fame call?
No.
Murder? No, it was no before that.
But I mean, selecting the dude that just murdered. Okay, I guess Ray Lewis got in and he murdered a guy. So all right,
allegedly he got off free.
There you go.
Ray Lewis killed a guy.
Yeah, Ray Lewis killed a guy.
Allegedly.
Ray Lewis killed a guy.
All right, let's go. Vegas says I never heard of AB trying to take a gun part.
I think he was correcting what he said earlier. Yeah.
I just don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I just don't know. Tortilla bifurcated AB so hard it gave me CTE through the TV. Vegas, Antonio was a nice, respectful guy. AB is nuts. Oh, I see. Yeah. Antonio and AB. I like it. Tortilla says send AB to Israel and Iran to negotiate a ceasefire. Hey, as crazy as this world is, it just might work, right? He might be able to be the one.
Both sides would be like, we're a bit nuts, but this motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah, we got to stop fighting. Look at this guy. Tortilla also says AB is going to be my generation's OJ. Could very well be.
AB will never be the star that OJ was in the NFL, though.
Nuremberg.
Yeah.
Corey said that's why I said it. I don't want to get banned. I need this comment section. I got you. Tortilla, the cop probably said the Browns are good, and AB just wasn't let that slide.
Oh, hell no. AB standing on business on that one.
John says, Corey, just so you know, the Steelers have a 2.4% chance to go to the Super Bowl this year. Vegas says $25 will get you $1K.
Hell yeah, baby.
Corey, John, thanks, man. I couldn't remember. Tortilla says AB heard GP is the Steelers' biggest crash out and had to reclaim his throne. Well, that's true, right? I mean, AB's been away for a while. Let's see.
He has to one up him.
He has to one up him.
So what does George do next to one up AB? That's the question.
How do you one up this?
Well, I mean, there's only one thing harder than attempted murder.
That's true.
I see. I don't see George as that kind of crazy. I see George as that.
Maybe George just goes to Dallas and kills the Cowboys.
Well, let me tell you this.
He killed a franchise.
No, here's what's going to happen. If you treat George like a number 2 wide receiver with CeeDee Lamb opposite side of him, you wait to see what happens if they make him a number 2 instead of a number 1.
That's going to be
I'm just saying, watch out, Dak.
Yeah.
Vegas says Friday the 13th, part 59. Jason waits on his Social Security check. I like it. I like it. Ralph, hey, what's up, brother? Nice seeing you on the board as always. Hope everything's going well for you, Ralph Williams, my man. John says, Corey Beavers, I'm here for you. Tortilla, AB, a gold jacket. Let him loose in L.A.
We're just going to say, wherever there's an issue, we're sending AB.
That's right, baby.
Let him be the voice of reason.
Ralph says AB needs help. Vegas, OJ was innocent, but the players can't do the throat slash motion. Ooh, interesting. I like that. And Tortilla, I'm sorry, World War III is just AB versus the world. It's funny, they both start happening at the same time. I found this out while I was watching the war coverage last night.
Things are getting spicy.
They are getting spicy. No two ways about that.
Spicy around the world, bro.
Vegas GP kidnaps Jerry. Oh, wouldn't that be something? Jerry Jones goes missing.
That would be awesome.
George, where's Jerry? Huh? Who's Jerry?
And he's in the Bronco, and Jerry's in the back, or something like this going on the whole time.
They're cruising down the Katy Highway.
Right. Maybe AB gets help in Jill. Hey, you know what? Who knows? Who knows what is going to happen next with Antonio Brown? Corey Beavers, he should have been arrested for attempted murder when he threw that couch off the hotel balcony a few years ago when he was still here. Hey, anytime, Ralph. Always glad to see you, brother. And Mark Malone, what's up, Mark, on the board? Another person I'm always glad to see. He says AB does hate Mexicans. So there you go, guys. Great introduction on the board. I'm glad to see everybody here this morning on this Friday, getting ready to head into Father's Day weekend. A lot of things to go over in our sports world here in Pittsburgh. As I said, very, very eventful week. Aaron Rodgers shows up. Mario Lemieux back to save the Penguins, as Ralph just put up on the board. U.S. Open. Antonio Brown, again, the stories just keep writing themselves here in the Berg. A lot of things to go over. First, I just want to get out there real quick. Last night, guys, an amazing Stanley Cup Finals hockey game between the Florida Panthers and the Edmonton Oilers. It goes to overtime. The game goes in favor of Edmonton, 5-4, ties the series up, guys, 2 games apiece. They'll be heading into game 5 on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. Great series if you like hockey. What's up, Joe on the board? Yinzer Joe, my man. Mike, are you following the finals at all? I know you love the Penguins, but as far as the rest of the NHL, I'm just never really sure with you. Are you following this?
I'm following along. Like my work schedule, I'm not able to catch the game, so I catch the highlights. And my God, is this series back and forth.
And these teams are so good.
3 out of 4 games have gone to overtime. You had the blowout. It looked like Edmonton was going to be down and out. They come back, score. Draisaitl got his career leading now NHL leading 4th overtime goal in Stanley Cups. That's unreal, unheard of. Dude's a damn good player, but now he's like putting his name up there with the immortals of just how good he has been this playoffs. Both teams is back and forth. People are saying this might be the greatest final they've seen live. And this is people who've been watching hockey for 60 years.
You know what? This is really good. This is good. The second time around, Red Wings and Penguins back in. This is what this series reminds me of.
Both teams know each other so well.
Yes, absolutely. And that one is going to be not good for us the second time around.
Yeah, great for us, but I have a feeling it's going to go 7 games, and then at that point, it's just going to be not who loses the game, but who wins the game? Usually, oh, this person fucked up, that's why they lost. It's just going to be so close, so well played down the stretch to where it's just what team is going to run out of time to equalize it. That's just
almost like you want the series to go to 9 games or 11
you just
games.
wanted to keep going.
Yeah.
Like after Edmonton scored, you kind of wanted the game to keep going just to see how good it would get.
In Vegas, I mean, the game was unreal. 3-0 at the end of 1.
Yeah.
If you like good hockey, this is the time to tune in.
Mm-hmm.
Again, Game 5 will be Saturday night at 8 o'clock. That game will be at Edmonton. Heading back to the series, heading back to Edmonton, guys. It's tied 2 games apiece. You can't get any more tight than this. And then the sister league, the NBA, Game 4 in that league is tonight. The Thunder at Indiana tonight at 8:30. This series is 2-1 in favor of Indiana. Caleb, of course, our moderator. Mike, I haven't talked to him, but the last I did hear, he was supposed to be going to Game 3 and 4 of this series in Indiana. He's out that way. Loves his Pacers. Again, Indiana's up 2-1. This was the team that I picked. I followed the NBA very little this year. I went with the Pacers because they have our guy here from Pittsburgh. And I just think that's pretty awesome. I hope he could win the NBA Finals. But again, guys, Game 4 tonight of the NBA Finals, 8:30 back in Indiana. It's going to be a good one, guys. Also,
I have a feeling if Indy wins this, they're going to end up winning the series, no matter how long it goes. I think it's going to be tough. They just find a way to win.
It's going to be tough for OKC at that point if they have to come back from 3-1. But they could do it. It's in theory should be a good series as well.
They're a good team, and the Western Conference was the tougher conference too. But man, it's shaping up to be a good series as well.
Before I get into the Steelers, Mike, here's a little local football scoop. The number 1 2026 high school kicker in the country, Haran Zurikat, out of Fox Chapel right here in Pittsburgh, Mike. He was supposed to come in and talk to Pitt along with some other teams, but he committed to Georgia. The number 1 kicker in the league right here out of Fox Chapel is going to Georgia to kick. If you recognize Fox Chapel when you're not from the area, if you've ever listened to the Howard Stern show, his wife Beth Ostrowski, Mike, of course, is from Fox Chapel, who then her brothers played at Penn State. And so a lot of connections there. But this kicker, guys, Haran Zurikat out of Fox Chapel High School, committed to Georgia, was the number 1 kicker in high school in 2026. Pretty awesome. Good luck to him. And sure he'll do well in Georgia. But you know what? You don't kick many field goals when you play for a good team. So
I was
like to go to a team that's not as good if you're a kicker, right?
Yeah, right. I was hoping he would go to Penn State because the kicking's been up and down, and just get that solidified would have been awesome.
So with that being said, guys, let's get into some football talk. It is time to talk about Steelers as the mandatory minicamp wraps up yesterday. Finch, all we have left is a little over a month that we're going to be in camp getting ready. They decided to do a bunch of day practices, afternoon practices. We did get that scoop over the last 24 hours, but guys, it is a little over a month. We will be starting camp up in Latrobe, which means we are on the doorstep of the football season. And I feel a little bit better this week, Finch, because we have a quarterback to line up under center, whereas of last week, all the way up until Saturday or whenever that was, that Aaron said he was coming and showed up, you didn't know who your guy under center was going to be, so there was an uneasy feel. If you were a Steeler fan, it was hard to start getting excited just yet because you didn't know who your quarterback was. I mean, you got to have a quarterback.
That, and it left a lot of open questions. Like, when is he going to make time to talk to his OC? When is he going to make time to build relationships with his receivers and his backup quarterbacks?
Yeah.
Now that those questions have been answered, we can just move on with doing those things, which he has been. We've been seeing plenty of film of him in practice, throwing the ball around, chatting it up with everybody. I'm glad to see it. It's also spawned some excellent memes.
Absolutely.
Cialis.
The Cialis stuff has been cracking me up. Yes.
We do got some guys. We have a lot of Aaron Rodgers. We got some dumb Aaron Rodgers scoop, but we do have some useful Pittsburgh Steelers scoop, guys. Broderick Jones. Word I got from about him, guys, out of minicamp was he was looking really good. Broderick Jones is looking, and he said he's ready to make that jump this year, guys. Hopefully he could do that. If he could solidify that left tackle position, we're in a pretty good position.
Yeah.
And he's the one I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the other guys who had the rookie season last year. It's him. If he needs to solidify, if he can, I'm going to feel real good about this season. And especially if you can see Troy Fatanu come in basically his rookie season, if you want to, want to call it this. He's got to do his part also at the right tackle position. But guys, Broderick Jones, him showing signs of improvement, that's big for this offense.
That's big. And he also came in better shape too. Looked like he cut down some weight, and that's usually a good sign. You normally you want your offensive lineman to be the big guys, but he's looks healthier, looks like more muscle than fat now, looks leaner, stronger, quicker. And you get your body right, get your mind right, and and he's acknowledged what he needs to work on. And like the O-line coach said, he just needs to be more consistent. And now he's back on the left side where he's more comfortable. He said he needs about just a couple more weeks of getting the reps to get back into the groove over there. So by training camp, he sounds and looks like he's going to be ready to rock and roll to have that breakout season. I'm hoping last year was just that, a little slump. And this year he's back to the way he was. Because like we said yesterday, Ryan, he was the catalyst for the rebuilding of the O-line. You got him. Then last year, you got your center, your guard, and your opposite tackle. You had 3/4 of your offensive linemen in 2 drafts. And if they can all grow together, this line on paper has the potential to be a top 10 line in the league. It's if they can all stay healthy and get it done. And Broderick Jones is going to be the key.
Broderick Jones is going to be big. You can't, you don't win without a good left tackle in the league.
Yep.
You just don't. You got to have this position, guys. Another running back, another good blocker that we are learning from camp this year is Caleb Johnson, guys. We're finding out that Caleb Johnson, he's really picking up the pass protection as far as what he's learning in camp and as a young running back. Mike, that's huge too, to get a young guy who's probably going to be pretty damn productive on this team as far as toting the rock to want to step up and learn the pass protection schemes. Mike, this just makes Caleb Johnson more valuable, especially as a rookie moving forward, don't you think?
Oh yeah, that's huge. And everything that the Steelers wanted him to work on, you see him drill after drill after drill that they're posting of him just busting his ass trying to get it right.
Yeah.
At Iowa, he didn't catch many balls out of the backfield, but they didn't throw a lot out there. So he's doing those weird little catching in traffic drills. And then the blocking, like Eddie Faulkner, the running back coach said, you can see he has the desire to block. It's just we want him to do it the right way. Where in college, he was doing a lot of diving at their legs. He's like, we don't want him to do that because the way we block, zone blocking and shit like that, you hit a guy, we don't want a clipping penalty. So here we go. Just stand your ground, more or less. Watch what Jalen Warren does and copy what he does. And he has Caleb Johnson said, I'm willing to let someone run through into my face to eat the block to get the playoff. It's just getting that technique down. So he has the want to get better, which is just awesome what you want to see. And everyone seems to be on the same page this year of let's move forward. Let's get better instead of coming in like Broderick Jones did last year, kind of like, oh, I already know what I'm doing. I don't have to work on anything. Everyone has got that bullshit out of their system, and they seem like they're ready to go.
So the theme's going to be today out of finishing up mandatory minicamp is the offensive players, guys, that certainly excelled. So we hit on Broderick Jones. We hit on Caleb Johnson. The third one that I'm going to mention, Finch, I'm going to come to you on this one. This is one that some are calling minicamp's biggest winner. Minicamp's biggest winner. Mr. Washington. Mr. Washington. You guys remember Dwayne Washington?
Yeah, that's number 20. Yeah.
Number 20. But Darnell Washington, of course, the tight end, that he's being coined by some as minicamp's biggest winner. Apparently he came back. He's lost about 20 pounds. He feels that he's moving better. He feels like he's just in better shape than he's ever been. Guys, his progress in this offense, I think, goes a long way because you have your starting tight end in Pat Freiermuth, but you've seen what happened last year when Washington did catch some passes and he's jumping over guys on the sideline and he's smashing through guys, picking up extra yards. I think somebody like Washington is such a huge player to have because at tight end, excuse me, you want to have your guy, but to have a second tight end who could come in and spell him or come in at the same time and do things that are actually productive instead of just being a blocker, Finch. I think that him being coined the biggest winner in the camp for the offense for the Steelers is kind of a good sign just overall for the Steelers offense.
It's always good to have more options. Excuse me. I got a frog in my throat today. It's always good to have more options on offense. I mean, what was one of the biggest criticisms last year of George Pickens? He was the only guy that the defense was focusing on because we weren't throwing the ball to anybody else. And we especially weren't throwing it in the middle of the field where some of our better receivers were running routes. So it's good to have, 3-4 guys capable of catching the balls. You get early in a game and you hit a nice pass to Freiermuth over here, and then you hit a nice pass to Washington over there a couple plays later. That's really got the defense thinking, oh my gosh, who's he going to throw it to next?
Right.
And, maybe they give a little extra help towards Freiermuth and leaves DK Metcalf wide open down the field,
And them are two big guys. Can you imagine trying to figure out how you're going to tackle DK Metcalf and then on the next play, Darnell Washington?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are they're freak human beings, huge athletes who are overly capable of what they're able to do with the body they've been given. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
They're rare talents, and I wanted to touch, you actually touched on a point that Mike had made previously about Broderick Jones, and the same thing with Washington. It's good to see these guys coming into camp with their bodies in great shape.
Yeah.
It proves that their work ethic has improved. We don't know about Washington because he's brand new, but with Broad Jones, work ethic was a real thing we discussed on this show with him previously. Remember, he used to get a lot of penalties, and we thought his game, it was a mental issue, and it's good to see that he has wrapped up some of that baggage, came to shape in great shape, and he's came to camp in great shape, excuse me. And it means that he's serious about playing football. He's serious about being that guy, being the guy he needs to be. And I'm glad to see that Washington is also in great shape.
You're right, Fitch. I mean, you know, awesome. On the head. It's these guys that do the work during the off season. They're the ones showing you they're putting in the work. When they come to they show up in camp and their body's in the best condition that it's ever been. You hear people say this. I mean, you got to love that if you're a coach. You have to love that if you're an owner, to know that your players are putting in the work while they're not with you. And right. You would think it would be a normal thing. These guys had made it that far. This would just be something that professional athletes do. You surprised you when people show up that aren't in shape, right?
And you gotta give it to Aaron Rodgers too. He looked like he's in pretty good shape too. We see a lot of him live all the time, right? We watch Pat McAfee, so we know he's been in good shape. But I'm just glad to see that he hasn't been taking it easy. You could tell he's been training in the off season. He's been working on that arm. He's been working on his legs, which obviously was a problem for him. He came to camp in good shape, and that is good inspiration for the rest of his team as well.
All right, let's jump back up on the board here, guys. Let's get caught up. Vegas, I'm going to go all the way back here when we were talking about AB. He says first and only low-speed car chase on the freeway. Back to the OJ conversation. What's up to my man Yinzer Joe? Unreal, it was 3-1. I think we were a little bit further than this. Okay, right here. Vegas says Canadians are tired of the Canadian people, I think it is, are tired of not winning the cup. It's been decades since they won. Of course, I think it was 1993. 93. The Canadians, Montreal Canadiens won it. Tortilla, I could be wrong, but I think AB also said he effed the California governor's wife, bruh, like a real villain in real life. The DC villain in real life. I heard that too. Is that true? I heard that he was banging Galvin Newsom's wife at some point.
He's just crazy enough for it to be true.
And Mike has turned it. His microphone is off.
I'm sorry. I had it off for.
Can you believe this with the microphone with him?
You know what? I turned it off so no one heard what was going on in the background. I get grief for that. I get grief for not having it on.
All right. John said Canada will not win a cup again until it becomes the 51st state. Let's see, Vegas. Will Aaron invite all the QBs to California to practice? He might.
I know he invited
Go whacked out on ayahuasca and have quarterback practice.
Yeah, out to Malibu, man. They're gonna hang out with what Malibu's most wanted.
00, what's up, my man? 007. He says TJ needs to be signed. It's just a matter of time. There's no way. There's no way TJ Watt's not gonna be on this football team this spring. Just give it time, brother. I expect him to play a little bit, and then we got camp, and give it time. He will be signed. Vegas. Tom was tired of her. What did I miss? Oh, because Mike made the comment first, so I don't read Mike's comment because it's a Mike comment, and then the reply is to Mike's comment. So now I have to go back and read what Mike says.
I said AB claimed he fucked everyone's wife. He said he banged Brady's wife.
All right. Oh, Mike. All right, so here we go. Tom
Did
was.
you guys? No, go ahead. Never mind.
No, go ahead, Finch, please.
Just real quick, did you guys see that interview that Ocho Cinco did with Stephen A. Smith a few months back, where he talked about having a small ding dong? Did you guys happen to see that?
No.
You have to see it because the clip is excellent, and it made me think that getting Ocho Cinco and AB together, like on a podcast like this, where they were sitting down just talking to each other and telling stories. You have to watch the clip. Just type in Ocho Cinco.
No two ways about it.
Stephen A. Smith. It's absolute gold.
Way to promote other shows right in the middle of the show. Great job.
I don't mean to do that, dude. It's just one of these things. Him and AB together would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious. No two ways about it. Let's see. Tom was tired of her, so he let it happen. Okay, now I'm finally back around to the initial point that Mike made, I guess.
Oh my God.
Phil Steele, what's up? He says, what's up, fellas? Always great to see Phil Steele on the board. Hope everything's well for you in Texas, man. Craziness going on all around the place. I hope everybody is okay. I don't it's wild. It's crazy out there. John says Johnson needs to prove he can block for the Tin Man. 2, Vegas says I read Black is not playing, not in the 3-4, and he's 352 pounds now. We did get word yesterday, Finch, that Derek Harmon will be starting. He is already named the starter on that defensive line. That's encouraging. The fact that he's playing well enough for them to say, I don't think he had much competition. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, but once again, that's encouraging. It's good to see that he made a positive impact on the Steelers coaching staff. That's what matters.
No two ways about that. Back on backers, I want to see Johnson in action. I guess I have to read all Mike's messages now. So he says, so this is what Mike says. This is what the host says. The host says that will be a good litmus test for him, he says. Yeah. All right. Well, I have to, Mike. I can't skip your messages anymore. You're asking questions, so they're replying to the questions that you're having conversations beside the show here. So I really have to watch 3 different things now. Vegas says Aaron will make all of them better. Phil still says it's week 1. Got my wings in root beer and ready to watch Steelers 2025 Steelers kickoff to Seattle in the Steel D-Force. You know what? I have to get back into Steeler mode because Phil is still sometimes when he writes his messages, it takes a translator or two. Let's see. Steelers kickoff to Seattle in the Steel D-Force. The punt. Oh, here comes number 8 in the Steeler offense. Pass, run, pass, 3 and out. TV off. But once you get to the end, it's hilarious. It all makes sense. It just takes a while to get you there. Vegas says you ate an entire frog. Mike, what's this referring to? What kind of shit are you
don't know. I don't know about the entire frog thing.
All right. Let's see. Yinzer Joe says you guys think Connor Hayward will lose his roster spot or move to fullback full time.
Hopefully he doesn't make it out of camp.
I think that he's going to make the team. I really do. I just don't. It's not going to be of any significance. They just have him around. He's basically there. I don't know. He hasn't done anything since he's been here, really. If he wasn't Cam's brother, I don't think he would still even be on this football team.
Sad but true.
007. I read that Pickens is tearing it up in Dallas, and they should in theory have a good season. Luckily we played them last year. We don't have to worry about that. Yinzer Joe said, I'm sorry, Finch. Do you have something to say?
29 years since the Dallas Cowboys have made it to the NFC title game. Just saying.
That's right. I was a senior in high school the last time the Dallas Cowboys made it that far. Yinzer Joe says Pickens isn't a problem right now because nothing is going on, and he's trying to pretend he wasn't the problem in Pittsburgh. That might be a good point. Tortilla, I'm not sure if it's true, but I'm sure AB can run California better than our current governor. I really feel, I feel for you on that, man. I'm not real sure. I'm not going to get into politics, but yeah, you're probably right. Vegas says Gavin Newsom doesn't have cocaine problems. He just loves how it smells. Interesting. I never heard that, but that's pretty good. Let's see. Phil Steele, Finch, we talking football, not ding dongs.
Yeah, Finch. Why are you talking about wieners?
It always comes back to wieners with Finch.
I see a lot of wieners. Okay, what can I say? A lot of wieners going on in my life, I guess.
Okay.
For the record, I make hot dogs, so people don't.
That's
think
true.
They don't all know that.
Yeah, thanks for putting that in the context. Good. Phil Steele says here in Texas we don't listen to tards. I envy that. Tortilla says we need a Hard Knocks about Steeler wide receivers.
I'd watch it.
You know what? I got some wide receiver stuff going on here when we wrap up on the messages here in a second. Corey Beaver says, I don't think some of my comments are showing up. I apologize if that's happening. Mike, any reason for this, Mike? Or
no, I don't know. Let me see what's going on.
Go ahead and look into that. Vegas Tortilla Jackson may be one of those 30 for 30 shows on the Steelers wide receiver crash outs. I'd watch. Vegas also says Finch said he had a frog in his throat.
That's what he was talking about with the frog.
It was just a terrible joke. My bad, everyone. No, that was actually pretty funny. Always wieners with Finch. I think Rodgers had some good things to say about Connor Hayward. Guess that's good news. Right now, Rodgers saying good thing about everybody. I don't know if you noticed, he's really hamming it up for,
you don't go to your new job and immediately start making enemies. You know what I mean?
Connor Hayward, boy, he really bites, you know. But you know what? He did it with the Jets. He went to New York and started bad-mouthing the coach, apparently. And,
how'd that work out for him? Just saying. How'd that work out? Maybe he learned a lesson.
Right. Corey says Steelers are getting close to making the AFC title game in about 20 years, so we got to be careful, or we'll have memes about us not knowing where the end zone is. LMAO. And way to clarify that, Finch. Guys, so a couple things that I did pick up on the wide receiver position. This is one that I loved. This one I loved. Of course, Metcalf comes out and says, if you see a turnover, I'm not going to just walk and let them return the ball. I'm going to get his ass. And after seeing Deontay Johnson walking past a fumbling, bouncing live ball in front of his face, I really like to hear this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I've seen DK Metcalf run down some people on interceptions, like, 80 yards worth to make the tackle. You got to love. He's the total opposite. He's the total opposite of what we had. DK Metcalf, from what I'm seeing, is the anti-Pickens, is the anti-Deontay, because he does all those little things and he does them well, guys. I'm very encouraged by this, Mike.
Oh, me too. Like you said it, man. That famous video of him chasing down that DB. He ran like 80 yards, hit like 28, 29 miles an hour to chase this guy down to save a touchdown. Like, that's what you like to see. Someone who's not quitting on the play, knowing that I have the ability to track this guy and give our defense a chance. Not just going, well, he's going to score. We'll get the ball back and hopefully won't answer. It's like, no, I'm going to make the play for the team. I like that attitude from him. And that's one thing about DK. You can never question his effort.
I like that, man. We really been craving a guy like this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because here's the thing. You, myself, and Finch, Mike, we've all grew up through Hines Ward, and the guy was such an extra guy. The guy did a lot of things besides play his position well as far as being a receiver. This is something that I think Steeler fans, certainly of our age group, we crave. We want to see the defense, or we want to see our receivers go out there and play football. Be a good football player. Don't just be a diva. Don't just walk off the field if something don't go your way. Don't complain to the quarterback. Go make something happen. There's an opportunity to make a play on every play on a football field. If it's not your play, you can still go out and do other things to make it happen. Guys, I love this. This is some of the biggest news that I got out of camp so far. Was with DK. Another thing, guys, that I'm seeing here that I've written down is the number 2 receiver, guys. They penciled him in so far. Again, we don't know what's going to go on. They may make moves before before camp starts. There's names been floating around as far as wide receivers. Talk about this. But the number 2 wide receiver, Mike, that they named just this week as the number 2 has worked primarily in the slot position throughout the spring. How does that dictate things for you? How does that being that he's the number 2, basically playing more slot receiver?
He's just gonna. It's typically, he was our slot receiver, and now they're just asking him to handle the outside duties. Something that I don't remember him doing a whole lot in college. He may have, but I know since he's been with the Steelers, all he's done is work in the slot. But he has the skill set to work outside. His routes are getting better year over year. He's quick enough. He's fast enough. But like I said yesterday, is that going to be able to translate to going up against the team's number 1, but definitely the number 2 corner?
Right.
Some teams like to flip the number one corner onto the number 2 receiver and disguise coverages on the other side. So that's going to be the challenge for him. But, like I said, he's not afraid to go get any ball. He's willing to fight for the ball. He's willing to take the big hits. He can run the routes out there. It's just, can he beat those guys? And being how small he is, that's going to be, can he overcome that on the outside too? It's just, he was overcoming through the middle, but how is he going to operate outside? But I like it. Get him outside one-on-one in space on a corner. If he can beat him, look out. He's fast enough to take it to the house off of one move. So I like it. I like it for the big play potential, but just how consistently can he beat a top corner in the league?
Do we have another natural do we have any other natural receivers that could play that outside position, Mike? I mean, because you're looking at Roman Wilson.
Potentially him.
I'm looking at Calvin Austin. I'm thinking inside. I'm not really. even Robert Woods. I don't know
at his age inside.
Exactly. So do we have a natural outside receiver in this wide receiver room other than DK Metcalf at this time?
I think just him.
Okay.
Like Wilson, I think he could. Just watching the way he was running routes, I was like, oh my god, put him on the outside as well. Running routes on some of these corners would be fun to watch, but he played a lot of slot in college too.
So
that's getting a guy who can handle more of the outside and let those guys be your slot merchants. But I'm not opposed to trying either of those two on the outside, because I think that was the plan last year, was to work Roman Wilson into a starting role by the end of the year on the outside.
And of course, Mike, we know they're looking around. Other names are floating, and it's still a ways off to go from this to the season. So free agents are out there. Amari Cooper's out there. Names like this who would be a more natural outside, but again, a lot of time to go until then. Finally, a lot of people may have seen, this was the quote that I did see, that I know that a lot of people see. Arthur Smith was being asked about, the offense are going to run. And we were high up somewhere and running the ball and running attempts. I think it was like 11 overall or something like this in the league. And when Arthur Smith was asked about it over the past couple of days, he says, we didn't bring Aaron here and sign DK for all that money to run the wishbone. So guys, it's going to be fun. Hopefully, Mike, again, Finch, we went through Russell Wilson. We went through the Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky. In theory, they're putting the pieces in place to have a season that isn't like the seasons that we've been enduring over the past 3 to 5 years, guys, with these particular players. Again, we brought these guys in. Aaron Rodgers is here. We give DK Metcalf mad money. Expect the ball to be in the air, Mike.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a lot more passing. I'd like to see, early half of the game, pass the ball 60% of the time. 70% of the time, build that lead, and then just grind it out in the second half. That's what we did when the year we won the Super Bowl under Cowher. We were a pass-heavy team in the first half, and then you just run the ball in the second half and kill the team's will to live.
Absolutely. Let's get back on the board, guys. I think we was right about here. All right, Chief Hunglo, don't let this podcast go from ping pong talk to ding dong talk, please.
I got you covered for the ping pong.
And Finch got the ding dong.
I got you for the ding dong.
We got you covered, Phil.
We got you covered, brother. Tortilla says we need players who can be a demon on the field and turn it off after the play is over. Seems like we're getting back to that. A little discipline would be nice. Vegas, if you press Austin with no safety up, you better not miss, or it's a touchdown if the quarterback has time. Boy, I'd love to see some more of them plays this year. Calvin Austin taking to the house.
He had a couple of those nice deep balls that he caught for touchdowns, just blowing the top off of coverage. Now, if we can do that consistently this year and not just rely on the deep ball every play, sprinkle that in more and more, oh God, I'd be a happy camper.
Tortilla says, I know Warren will get more carries this year, but what I'm more excited for is him getting more targets in the pass game. Has always been underutilized in that area. That would be nice. The more looks this offense could give, the better, because we've been very vanilla over the past 3 to 5 years, and teams just knew what was coming, series after series after series. So hopefully this, this kind of rounds out the team a little bit more, guys, and everything that's going on right now. Makes
the offense more well-rounded, more robust. Just a more potent offense. more
Yeah.
potential for big plays because you don't know who's going to get the ball. Because we've seen Warren take the ball to the house. He's deceptively fast. He looks like that little cannonball, but my God, he can turn the Jets on when needed.
Corey says, I think there's ways you can make Austin work as a wide receiver too if you need to. There's plays where you can put Roman and Calvin on the outside and put DK in the slot position or go route.
Oh,
yeah.
DK in the slot on a quick slant.
As creative as Aaron Rodgers is too, Mike, I wouldn't be surprised to see things like this because again, the guy, he knows the game. He knows his looks. He knows. I think it's going to get very interesting this year, guys. As I said, Mike, yesterday, I'm warming up to this finally. Aaron Rodgers. It only took me a week.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to take a little bit longer, but now that I know, knowing is half the battle, Mike, and I really do feel that again, there's nothing that we could do, so you might as well embrace it, and this is where we're at.
Yeah, no one's half the battle. G.I. Joe, a real American hero.
John says, drama, either real or made up, makes money. The media will target those who easily fall for the BS engagements for cash. It is hard to turn off the field stuff in 2025. They can't put players in media isolation. That's true. Corey says that will be the CB1 to the inside to protect the deep ball and take away safety from the midfield and have the outside run slants. That'll open up one-on-one tight end versus linebackers. Yeah, I'd love to see these tight ends really get involved, Mike. And again, this is the thing that I think that Aaron Rodgers could bring to the table because again, he's smart enough. He's smart enough to know when to go to tight ends. You know what I mean?
You look at like
how to play the game.
You look at Freiermuth's numbers from when he went from Big Ben to now, like they've declined year over year because everyone was afraid to go over the middle to him.
It's unbelievable. If Aaron brings the things that we're believing that he could bring, it should be a pretty fun season. So Phil says the player I'm looking forward to is 15. He doesn't stop until the whistle blows. Football 101. 15, Mike.
Ben Skoranek.
Oh, Ben, yeah. Is he going to make the team?
Yeah, for being a gunner on special teams. Okay. Like I have him penciled in on the 53-man roster. We saw him make plays last year in special teams. He made some plays on the offense when called upon too. Nothing flashy, but nice, solid. Hey, get a first down if we need it in crunch time. Everyone else is covered. They're going to forget about this guy.
Tortilla says, and Warren is bigger than he looks. I don't want to tackle him. Yeah, man. I love me some Jalen Warren. And that's why I hope this Caleb Johnson really steps up too. Mike, I just think these two guys out of the backfield, if they could both be explosive.
Oh, God.
And now Caleb is taking on the role that Warren took on prior because there was a starter and he really felt like he needed to push himself to be, to make this team. And I think that that's what you're going to see from Caleb Johnson this year. He's going to want to push himself to impress, and I think that's just going to make him perform better and overall and have an explosive backfield with these two running backs.
Yeah, and I think to see the beginning of the season, you're going to see a lot of Jalen Warren, and it wouldn't surprise me after the first 4 or 5 weeks if it flips back to where Warren was where he was last year, and Caleb Johnson takes on that Najee Harris role, being the featured back.
I get a vibe that there's going to be a Jalen Warren injury this year.
Oh,
I just do. I don't
he's
know
been
why.
So healthy and how hard he plays. Yeah,
I just do.
Yeah.
And it's gonna force Caleb to take that role, Caleb Johnson, and he's gonna do really well. And it's gonna. I just get a vibe, guys. I don't know why. I hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just the vibe I'm getting. Tortilla says Ben Skoranek should make the team. I want to see him get more. What, Mike, if it comes down to Ben Skoranek and Scotty Miller, who's the move?
Skoranek, like they said on the board, he has a 2-year contract. He's making the team.
Okay. Let's see. Let me get caught up on some other messages here while Mike handles iPad duty.
I'm sorry.
Vegas says I'm just here so I don't get fined is all they have to say, right? Vegas also says Ben got a 2-year contract, so he's making the team. Okay, cool. All right. I didn't know that about Ben Skoranek, so he'll definitely be on the squad. More than likely, Corey says BS. Ben Skoranek shouldn't see the field or we are in trouble with the wide receiver position. As Mike was saying, he's a gunner on special teams. And if he's the 5 or the 6 in the on your depth chart, you're going to see him like you've seen him. He's not going to be a big thing, but
sprinkled in here and there.
Yeah. You'll see him like you've seen him. I don't think there'll be any difference. Kenneth, what's up, brother? Always great seeing you on the board. Hope you're having a great Friday heading into Father's Day weekend. Always great seeing Kenneth on the board. Tortilla, Ben might be the best blocking wide receiver we had. He gets down on offense. I just want to see him get some targets because teams won't expect it. That's true. See him down in the red zone. You know what I mean? Teams are watching your DK Metcalfs and your Pat Freiermuths and your Darnell Washingtons. You know, maybe throw a strike to him on something down inside the 20. Right here, Corey says, I'm sorry, Vegas, Corey Beavers, it'll be a run play to take advantage of his blocking instead of Austin or Wilson. John says, was Warren?
Yeah, he was nicked up for 2 games. I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had
to go back and double check. I didn't remember him not being there. He was always there.
Like, I didn't recall. And again, I get a vibe though. Now that we're in the role where Caleb Johnson is here, I get this feeling that Jalen Warren's going to be out. There's going to be a significant period of time, a couple weeks to a month. Again, I hope I'm wrong. Just a vibe I'm getting though. I don't like it. Tortilla says Ben over Scotty all the way. We need another big wide receiver. Caleb, what's up? What's up, my man? Caleb. Oh, really? They're in the finals?
Yeah, I didn't hear that, brother.
I'm just playing, man. We're following them. We see that they are up 2-1, and they got a big game 3 tonight. Are you still going? I know that you were talking about going to games 3 and game 4. Caleb, keep me posted on that, man, because they're looking good. They're getting closer to pulling off their NBA Finals championship. So let's go Pacers. Corey says, Vegas, great point. I don't think about that. I was thinking more about our 100 tight ends for blocking. Thank God it is Friday. Yes, Kenneth, I hear you, man. Brother, believe me, I hear you on that one. Guys, let's get into a couple more things. It would be weird not to go into the weekend, guys, without hearing some more stupid information and facts about our new quarterback, guys, Mr. Aaron Rodgers. That's right. Over the past day, I did it popped up in front of me. I do have new scoop on Mr. Aaron Rodgers, and it starts with he has moved into a $30 million mansion in Pittsburgh near Acrisure Stadium. It has par 3 golf course. It has a pool house, a horse stable, amongst many other things, guys. There you go. There is your stupid information on Aaron Rodgers for the day. He is in a $30 million mansion in Pittsburgh, near enough. I don't know where near Acrisure Stadium would be for that, but guys, you want to hear the other one? I have another one. This is really stupid. This one's really stupid. You guys ready? We found out initially that our quarterback, guys, does not wear earbuds because it ruins the frequency in his brain. So he only wears earphones. Okay, so this is stupid, right? Guys, I now have this. Has been trending. It went viral. Guys, this is Aaron Rodgers' diet of food that he does not eat. This is, I told you guys, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a circus. Aaron Rodgers is here, and this is the food that Aaron Rodgers does not eat. It went viral. Here it is. He does not eat milk. He does not eat cheese, yogurt, wheat, rye, barley, sugars, high fructose, corn syrup, prepackaged snacks, chips, cookies, canola oil, soybean, oil, vegetable, hydrogenated oils, bacon, sausage, or deli meats. Guys, this, for some reason, is information that we know. This is things that Aaron Rodgers does not eat. Mike, is this stupid as you could get?
I don't trust anyone who doesn't eat bacon.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. I can understand. You got to the bacon, you lost me, Aaron. You lost me, bro. I don't trust anyone who doesn't eat bacon. Terry Bradshaw ate bacon and won 4 fucking Super Bowls and couldn't spell cat if you spotted him the C and the A.
And he didn't have a radio in his helmet either.
Exactly.
That's true.
Maybe that's what this team needs.
One thing that I did catch, though, that people do love, guys, again, there's going to be many stupid things. We're going to know more about this guy's life than you ever wanted to know when it's all said and done. I promise you, he's been here 1 week, and I already know his diet. I know where he lives, and I know that he does not wear earbuds. So it's his week 1, guys. We have a ways to go. Guys, the one thing that I am encouraged about, though, Vegas says it sounds like his wife. The one thing that is encouraging, though, is this. Aaron Rodgers is bringing tough love to the Steelers offense, guys. This is something that you'd like to hear. It sounds to me like, he's going to bring true leader qualities to the team. And that's what you need as your quarterback. No, he's not going to be our franchise quarterback. No, he's not going to be the guy that does crazy great things for the Steelers as, over time. But he's bringing a tough love attitude to the offense. And you know what? I think just him being a veteran, him being a guy that won multiple MVPs, this seems like this might work, guys. This seems like it might work.
Yeah, we haven't had a leader like that on offense since Ben. You went from Ben then to Trubisky and Mitch and Rudolph, and then last year to Wilson and Fields. Like, Aaron doesn't care. He's going to hold everyone accountable the way Ben did. He'll do it behind closed doors like Ben did until it gets to a certain point. Then you have to address it through the media, make a little comment in the media so they get, so the guys understand, no, this is serious. So yeah, we haven't had someone like that since Ben, and hopefully that's going to help that offense work.
And I don't think Aaron wants to go out on a suck mobile, because you got to think about it. His time in New York didn't go well. His time at the end of his career in Green Bay didn't go well. I don't think the great Aaron Rodgers wants to go out on a broken leg like this and limp off into his retirement. I think he wants to go out with a bang, and if he could do it here with Pittsburgh, maybe he can. And this really works out for everybody. Again, do you love the idea of Aaron being the guy here? It's very unsteeler. Like, it's just something we have to get used to as Steeler fans. But at the end of the day, this may have been the best possible piece, Mike, for the puzzle and Finch this year that we could have possibly had. And as we were saying, let's throw the towel and try to get a higher pick. But why not? I guess if you can have a good season, why not do it? And Mike, we have 12 draft picks in the draft in Pittsburgh. Maybe that changes things up a little bit. And let's go for it, guys.
Yeah, you don't have to tank to rebuild. If you build smart through the draft, the way the Steelers are, addressing the O-line, D-line, having key free agents there, then you go out, trade up for your quarterback. Again, Mahomes was the Kansas City traded up for him. Baltimore traded back into the first round, got Lamar at 32. So, there's any way you can find a quarterback, you do it. The Bills got Josh Allen because they sucked at that point, but he took years to develop to become the quarterback that he is now. So you just have to have a plan in place, follow it, and then when the moment's right, you strike. Whether it's giving up a shit ton of picks in 1 year to go get the guy, you do it. And build the team out, then get the quarterback. You see a lot of teams that fail. They go and get their quarterback, then they slowly build around them. How many times do we see the Texans or the Browns do this? We're going to get our guy, then we'll slowly build an O-line, then we'll slowly get them weapons. That's how you can fail, to where if you're smart the way like the Steelers did it before, we had the team built. We thought we had the guy, Tommy Maddox. It wasn't it. So hey, guess what? We're going to get Big Ben. And it struck lightning in the bottle, and it helped him having that team in place to where he didn't have to be the guy.
Why does every time we have a bad team, we go to a number 8 for to be the savior? Tommy Maddox was a savior. Kenny Pickett was a savior. Now Aaron Rodgers, again, we're hoping is the savior. If you're looking for your guy, he's not going to be number 8 for the Steelers.
No, maybe look, we'll follow the Tommy Maddox Big Ben script. Aaron will go out there, play a couple games, get hurt, and boom.
Because Tommy Maddox was a former MVP in the XFL.
Hell, Tommy the Machine Gun Maddox.
So there you go. Let's get back on the board here, guys. Caleb, game is tonight. I went to game 3. Plans for game 4 didn't work out. Well, I'm glad you got to make it to game 3. They did. They won that game, and they took the lead in the series. Hopefully, they win this one in Indiana as well, to have a commanding 3-1 lead when they head back to OKC. We'll all be rooting for the Pacers. I know that I am. Kenny, we did cover that early, man. The Antonio Brown, what a crazy turn in his story for somebody who every story he has is crazy. You know what I mean? So how do you outdo yourself when you're AB? Attempted murder. Vegas, when are you going to drink those 2 beers? You know what? Those are empty beers, Vegas, and they are from guests from our very, very early shows. These were for they were left behind by some guests that were on very, very early. I would say in the first 20 shows, Mike. Yeah. It was after the first set of shows, but it was very early on.
Yeah.
They were left behind. We ended up, we were collecting a lot of stuff because everything was in studio.
Yeah.
We were all in the same studio. And we had guests come in the same studio. So we had quite a collection of things that were left behind by guests. But those are they are empty. And that's the reason why they're the brands they are. I would have had some Iron City or something more Yinzer back there. But these were certainly from they were left behind by guests, which I try to keep a lot of that stuff.
Mementos.
Mike John says, Mike, I never read a comment that can't be backed up with a stat for those naysayers. I like exhibits.
Hell yeah, baby.
Corey says someone should create an AR fun fact text thread, put in your phone number, email, and get one AR fact for day. Yeah. I have a hard time getting Mike to turn his microphone on, so we'll keep it in mind. We'll keep it in mind. We'll put it on the shelf. As soon as Mike gets the volume thing figured out, we'll work on that. It's only been 5 years.
It's only been 5 years.
He'll get it.
700 and some odd episodes.
He'll get it.
I'll get there.
Kenneth says, is there a reason I should care about what? Not at all. No, not at all. I can't think of a good reason. Vegas says the Aaron Rodgers burger is going to be bland. Yeah, that's got to be the whitest person burger I've ever heard of in my life.
No seasoning whatsoever.
Nothing at all. It's just ground beef and bread.
No, it has salt and pepper.
Oh, wait, it don't even have bread, does it? Oh, wait, maybe it does have bread. Just not rye or barley or I don't know. I can't keep up with this diet. John says Rodgers will make sure he never eats his words. The most important item. All right. Corey, I was just telling someone yesterday that we're going to see the best version of Aaron since Green Bay because he's not going to do anything to ruin his rep and chances of future endorsements and previous success. I hope you're right, Corey. So. I hope we get the best Aaron Rodgers that has ever been. I mean, that would be freaking fantastic.
As long as his old body holds up.
Vegas says Casey traded up 17 spots for Pat and only gave up 2 1s and a 3. Corey, he's not going to make himself like T.O. and hurt his Hall of Fame or his Hall of Fame chances. Yeah. Just kind of curious. I mean, geez, oh man. I mean, I don't know. We'll see how that all plays out. Attempted murder doesn't sound good, guys. Vegas, Tommy lost a game where the D only gave up like 50 yards. You remember Tommy Maddox was like getting paralyzed every game? And
yeah.
Against Tennessee, he got hit by that linebacker and he just.
I remember that game too.
He just dropped like a rock.
Wasn't that the game afterwards? People dumped trash on his yard.
I don't know if it was right after, but it was around that time. Yeah. John says every team knows the Steelers need to draft a QB. They will make them pay big. Yeah.
But never underestimate the gullibility of NFL GMs. Sometimes they outsmart themselves and will take a lesser deal. But I know what you mean though. Like they can hold the Steelers hostage.
I haven't read the whole way through this next one yet, but I like what I'm seeing in this message. Kenneth says Will Howard hit Mount Washington for a touchdown. I think Will Howard will benefit greatly from Rodgers' arrival. I do too, just because Rodgers totally came out and said, and again, right now he's definitely trying to make everybody happy here, but he did say he is willing to work with Will, and he says he sees something in him and he's going to work with him. And again, Mike Aaron Rodgers, he's all in. He said he's all in. So you know what? You got to like the way that sounds with all in. Who knows what that all means, but it sounds good.
Yeah, and he has a track record of mentoring quarterbacks too.
Yeah, he sure does.
From him, it's not just lip service. He has a track record to back it up.
Vegas says, John, teams don't want to be conned by Omar either, so they're a bit sketchy. Yeah, I could see that. You could definitely see it.
Yeah, he came out hot and heavy, fleecing teams early. Now they're raising the price on him.
I like this one. Caleb, what kind of cheese do you think a bully showers? My guess is Munster. I would guess the same. I don't know. What's them little crumbly things that he has in his fat crease? Blue cheese crumbly. That's what I picture. A couple more things here, guys. With the Steelers. Gross. TJ Watt, somebody brought him up briefly earlier in the show talking about he needs his contract. I think he's going to get his contract, guys. But I just want to throw this at you, Mike. And this is kind of something that blew me away because TJ Watt in 2024 was the only edge in the with a 90+ rating for both run and pass defense. Run and pass defense. Now, the one that really caught me off guard, Mike, is his run defense last year was a 90.3, which was number 1
Yeah.
at his position. He was the best run stopper at his position in the NFL, is what this says.
Yeah, for edge rushers, yeah, he was number 1. Because he's not classified like a typical DN the way you would picture your 4-3 guys.
There's some pretty good edge rushers out there. I mean,
because they also classify Myles Garrett as an edge, but he's more of a traditional DN too, as well. So it's kind of weird, but. Don't forget, though, he made how many punch outs did he make for that forced fumbles? Times that we saw him loop around, make those plays, but other times too, he got caught out trying to loop around and leaving that hole, and guys were hitting big gains on him. So, 90 might be a bit too high, but for a typical edge rusher for him, Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, I think he might be a better run stuffer than those guys, but.
Wow, they must not be any good at stopping the run. That's all I got to say. That's absolutely too high. I don't think this has him as the top.
Yeah.
The top at run stopping. And I got to be honest, I don't think he's that great at playing the run. Mike, he has a 90.3, which is number 1 at his position. And now get this, he's number 4 is his pass rush grade. Number 1 is stopping the run, and number 4 at pass rushing, which is actually something that he's known for being good at. Mike, with a 90.1. 90.1 at pass rush, 90.3 at run defense. Again, the run defense was number 1 overall. The pass defense number 4 overall, Mike.
Yeah, that's number 4. That's fair for the pass rush because he kind of tapered off at the end last year, but early in the year he was just a beast against the pass and the run too. I think he was more consistent against the run down the stretch than he was against the pass, but he was also taking himself out of the run by the pass too. He was hard to grade last year down the stretch because you never know which TJ Watt you're going to get. The one who was blown up, plays left and right, or the guy who's getting handled until the very end, then he'd win the game for you. He was all over the place, man. He didn't have he wasn't consistent from week to week towards the end of the year. Against that New York game, he did nothing, but next thing you know, he's getting strip sacks to win the game. You're like, fuck yeah, this is why we got him. But then against Baltimore, he does nothing. You're like, TJ, where the hell are you?
Now, this one here, guys, one of my last points for the Steelers is this. I don't remember who it was the other week, but I made the comment that it's going to be Aaron Rodgers coming in, taking over some Ben's numbers. Of course, passing him 5th all time for passing yards is going to be a hard one to swallow. However, I made the comment, it's taken Aaron this long to be able to pass that record. And I can't remember. I think I remember who it was on the board. And they said, well, they played the same amount of years. It's not true. Aaron has played 20 years to this point. Ben played 18 years total. So 3 extra years it's going to take Aaron Rodgers to pass Ben all-time passing yards. So some people that's going to call Aaron Rodgers one of the greatest quarterbacks ever compared to Ben, who actually did it in less time and won more Super Bowls and all kind of stuff. Don't ever give Ben Roethlisberger the credit. People outside of Pittsburgh especially, I think it's a jealousy thing, but they never stick Ben's name in the top. They'll stick Aaron Rodgers in there, other quarterbacks like this all the time. But 20 seasons so far under Aaron's belt, only 18 total for Ben.
I got a stat for you here.
Yeah, come on, man, bring it.
Aaron Rodgers has played 248 games. Ben Roethlisberger, 249.
Yeah, exactly.
So Aaron has 1 game to break that record if he wants to.
He has to get 1,200 yards in that first game against the Jets.
I don't know.
You know what?
I mean, it is the Jets.
Him coming in on the Aaron Rodgers and scored 1,200 yards. Look out. It's going to be all 1,200 yards thrown opposite Sauce Gardner.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun, too, watching DK and Sauce Gardner. That's going to be a fun battle.
Aaron Rodgers knows what that Jets defense looks like, too, so that's certainly an advantage. Where I think he's going to know the Jets defense more than Fields knows the Steelers defense. Vegas says that nasty cheese in a can. That nasty cheese in the can is what Kabuli showers with. Possibly. Very possible.
I used to love that shit when I was younger. Now just the thought of it sickens
I know.
me.
I used to be able to just take the whole can at once. Yeah. Corey says, Khan is trying to lowball teams at first, so he offers a better deal. It'll sound doable. Smart. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Go with something outrageous to get close to what you want. You know what I mean? Caleb, I'm sorry, yeah, Caleb says that was certainly a visual
Yeah.
for this Friday's show.
Yeah, I my breakfast came back up. Thanks, bud.
Vegas says paint cans full of cheese. Yeah.
Oh,
Richard says, Richard, my man. He says not pro until 1,000 shows.
thank you.
He says
Thank
happy
you, sir.
weekend, happy Father's Day weekend to everybody.
Yes.
I don't even think we'll be professional then.
No, God, no.
We'll still Mike will still be forgetting his
I'm
his
barely
volume
professional at work, and they pay me.
but we will see it 1,000. We'll write this down and keep track. I don't know if Mike will get it by then, but we'll try. Also, and then finally, Corey says, no, it's because of Ben's allegations. That's what it was. They forgave Kareem Hunt for drop kicking bitches, which is on camera, but they don't forgive Ben of something he was accused of with no proof, which probably happens 9 times out of 10 when you have a rich, famous person out with, women that, you don't know. You just don't know. You don't know. If you don't know what the person is or who they are, you don't know what they're bringing to the table. And I think that it's tough. It'd be tough for pro athletes for sure. Wouldn't it, Finch?
Yeah. I mean,
enjoy your life. You know what I mean?
Rock stars deal with this. Actors deal with this. And it's not to say that there aren't bad actors out there who have done bad things. There are. But it's because of those actors, or bad actors, not necessarily actors, but bad actors who have done those things. It lends credibility to young women when they do make these accusations.
Right.
And, and you have to take every accusation seriously. Let me make that a point as well. When a girl says something happened, you have to investigate.
But if these girls, Finch, keep lying, they have to start getting charged.
They have that's a thing. Yes. Remember, it was the case a few years back with North Carolina. Was it the lacrosse team?
Duke. Yes.
Or Duke. Yes. Thank you. Duke in North Carolina. It was a similar situation. They accused all those men of raping them, and it ended up coming out years later that didn't actually happen.
That's the thing. If there's no consequences, what's going to stop these girls from continuing to do this? There has to be consequences for the
But on the other side of the coin, when you see a situation like Ben Roethlisberger, I don't think. I mean, there's no proof that he did anything wrong. I don't think he did either. But the situation was shady enough that he had to settle with these girls out of court. And that brings a whole other situation. Like, well, if a girl can lie long enough just to get him to settle, well, hey, at least she got something, right? So. It's a shame that the world is like this, and it sucks that when you are a multi-million-dollar celebrity of many sorts, these are problems you deal with, whether you're a man or a woman. Women deal with it too, So
no. Unfortunately, the thing about Ben is my argument has always been this: the character himself. We've known the guy for 20 years, 2 decades. You start to see patterns from people. You start to see behavior. I've never seen anything that would indicate that he's this kind of person outside of this isolated incident with women. It wasn't a reoccurring theme with people. I mean, look at Deshaun Watson's list of. I mean, the list grows and keeps growing and growing. That tells me there might be something going on here. This was one incident 2 decades ago. To me, it seems isolated, and again, there was no signs outside of that being his character, and that's all I could go by because that's all I know. So that's what I base my opinion off of. Let's get a couple more of these in here, guys. Vegas says, what's worse, canned cheese or Spam? Oh, God. Spam just because it's so salty. I never got into Spam because it's way too salty for me. I could do the cheese before the Spam. Kenneth says, TJ stops the run well. Sometimes he intentionally sends a message and goes for the quarterback on purpose, letting the runner go past him. Yes, he sure does. Vegas, the lady that worked the front desk answering phones, yet was he one to show up to fix Ben's TV after he called and reported it wasn't working? That's not how it works. I'm sure that's funny. I just don't. I think that I may have read it wrong. But let's see. He comes back up here and says the guy from the 70s show is in jail forever with no physical evidence of witness. Oh yeah, that's right. Corey, I was going to say that, Ryan, I love women and believe in women's rights 100%, but if they're accusing someone of something they can't prove, then how can you take it to trial? Absolutely. And like I said, there's got to be something, the other end on this, to where if it comes out and they find that they're lying, they should be charged. And, that would be fair. Corey says, but if MRFer is guilty, take his punk ass away for life for sure. But he said she said shouldn't be presentable in the courtroom. Okay. She said shouldn't be presentable in the courtroom. That ruins men's lives, and women lie as much as men do. Absolutely. Everybody. You know what I mean? What's a lie? Everybody lies at some point. No, you're okay, brother. Vegas. I get you, my man. He said my typing sucks. I didn't proofread that. Sorry, it just gave me a seizure, but I'll be okay over here. It is the weekend. Guys, go ahead, Mike.
I would say that comment reminded me of like Michael Scott in The Office. Sometimes I start talking, I don't know where the conversation's going to lead. That's how I am when I type.
I've never seen an episode. I'll have to check that out one day. I hear a lot of people like it. People that like it. I definitely acknowledge that.
When Corey is like his punk ass, every time I hear punk ass, all I can think of is that song from Sublime.
Yeah.
His punk ass. Yeah. I don't know why I said that.
Literally just go, the punk ass.
Punk ass.
Can you sing the line?
No.
Okay. Guys, let's
only if it's playing. I bet Finch is going to go clip that.
We're going to round third base, guys, and get ready to talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates for the weekend. Mike, the Pirates were 6-3 at home on their 9-game homestand, and then on the road, where they are 9-23 overall. They run into the Cubs. The Cubs beat them yesterday 3-2 in game 1 of 4 against Chicago at Wrigley Field. The Pirates fall to 28-42 overall, while the Cubs improved to 42-27. The Pirates back at it today with a Paul Skeens start. That's right, Paul Skeens on the bump today at 2:20. Every game through the rest of the weekend with Chicago at Wrigley Field are 2:20 starts. So if you are going to catch the Pirates this weekend, 2:20 today, tomorrow, and Sunday, all 2:20 starts for the Pirates at Wrigley. Again, Paul Skeens might get this 4-6 with a 1.88 ERA. 4-6 with a 1.88 ERA and 92 strikeouts on the season.
Yeah.
He'll be facing Cade Horton, who's coming in with a 3-1, a 4.11, and 25 strikeouts on the season.
Again, Paul Skeens doing stuff that you haven't seen since the 1900s.
He's going to win the Cy Young with a losing record, and it's going to be unbelievable, and people are going to call it controversial, but you know what? He's the best pitcher in the league.
Yeah, it's not his
worst
fault.
Team in the league.
Yeah, literally, he had one bad game, and the offense can't score a single run to give him any run support. Like last year, he was 11-3 with a 1.96 ERA. Like right now, he should be a one-loss pitcher. He should be 9-1 at the worst. 9-1.
My favorite women in Pittsburgh, Mike, they wear shoulder pads and football helmets, and they are going to be wrapping up their season this weekend. Mike, tomorrow, the Pittsburgh Passion are hosting the Cincinnati Cougars in the last game of the regular season. This is at home tomorrow at Slippery Rock University, 6:00 p.m. They'll be wrapping up the season, Mike. They're hoping to finish up 5-1. If they do beat Cincinnati, they will be 5-1 heading into the playoffs with a home game to open up the playoff run for the Passion and the ladies this year, Mike. They did fall to the DC Divas in a really close game last year. It was the first regular season game they lost in quite a few regular seasons. 22-19, they lose by 3 points to the Divas. They're hoping to jump back on track and get a big win heading into the playoffs against the Cincinnati Cougars tomorrow, 6:00 at Slippery Rock, Mike. Makai Chavez, MVP last year. Do her and the ladies pull off this win to wrap up the regular season?
Yes. Yeah. Last week was a little bump in the road. Nice little adversity to fight through, battle through. You need that to toughen yourself up going into the playoffs. They bounce back. I feel bad for Cincinnati because they're going to whoop that ass.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Check them out. They do play on you. They have them on YouTube every week. So if you want to check out the ladies' Pittsburgh Passion tomorrow, just type in Pittsburgh Passion versus Cincinnati Cougars, and there should be a live video playing. Just click on that, and you'll be able to go and watch them live. I watch it every week. I truly, honestly do. Last week, Mike, I watched the Passion game, and I watched some more professional kickball on TV. That's right, professional kickball. I did watch for about an hour. It's fun. It's everybody played kickball in elementary school, so it's just fun to kind of watch and see what the people that were actually really, really good at it are doing nowadays. Which certainly I don't fall in that category. Nah. But I do like watching some professional kickball.
Yeah, I was watching some of that too, and I was like, "Oh my god, I pull a hammy."
Damn right. Remember when you got injured going in reverse in your car?
No, I don't. No, I don't. You keep talking about it. I don't remember this at all. I am what peak male performance looks like.
Speaking of women, Mike, in sports, the Indiana Fever. The Indiana Fever, of course, we know that the Indiana Pacers are in the final. The Indiana Fever's back in action without Caitlin Clark tomorrow. The New York Liberty is traveling to play the Indiana Fever at Indiana. Mike, Indiana is going to be rocking this weekend for basketball. Of course, you got game 4 of the finals tonight. You got the Fever back in action tomorrow, minus Caitlin Clark. That'll be a 3:00 start. They're holding their own. I can't wait for Caitlin to get back to see what this team could do with full potential. I really love watching the gals play basketball too. I don't know what it is. I just like women, I guess.
Who would have thought Ryan likes women?
I did. I just, watching women and play sports. I like sports. I like women. It all just comes together, guys.
It all comes together.
Let me ask you one more question before we do start getting ready to wrap things up. What's going on with Shamar Stewart out of Cincinnati? What's his story, Mike? Please, if you know or Finch, somebody fill us in before we do start getting ready to wrap things up on Shamar Stewart.
Shamar Stewart, he hasn't signed his rookie contract yet because they have language in his contract that he wants language in the contract that they gave last year to Amarius Mims to where, these contracts are fully guaranteed. Now the Bengals are putting stuff in there to like void contracts after this year. If this happens, that happens. Like these rookie contracts are boilerplate. They're all the same. And then the Bengals are starting to add language, and him and his agent are like, no, you're not doing this to me. You didn't do it last year. Why are you doing it to me? I'm going to hold out. And he has all the power because they drafted him to be the replacement for Trey Hendricks if that contract doesn't work out, and that's not working well either. And if Shamar Stewart wants, he can not sign his contract, sit out a year, and re-enter the draft, and which I hope happens. Because it would be great to see the Bengals fuck up a situation. You just got goodwill by signing Joe Burrow, signing Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. You can make it work, definitely, to get your rookie in. You already had that contract slotted. Keep the same language that you gave to Amarius Mims, and then re-sign your best defender on the worst defensive team in the league. The guy was the defensive player of the year last year. Reward him. It's a shit show of an organization, and I love it.
I just really wasn't sure. I know that it was causing a stir over there in Cincinnati. So there you have it, guys.
It is great. At first, I thought the player was just being a dick. I'm like, dude, come on, it's all guaranteed. Then you read into it, like, oh, he's 100% right.
I think Vegas is one. Vegas got right here. Why don't the NHL hire a giant sumo wrestler and stick him in a goal?
Right. You look at these goalies; they're tiny, and they wear the equipment that's big. Get the sumo in there, and he'd be even bigger.
Somebody that right. Somebody that's really mobile. That's like in college, you get like a linebacker that's a really big guy that can move though.
Yeah,
somebody really big. These hockey players, they're very average sized men. I got to admit.
Yeah. Put prime Levon Kirkland.
You're right. Let's see what else we got here, guys, and then also we got NFL, NBA. We'll get into that as we do wrap up the show. Mike, why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website?
The2dumbyinzers.com. Anyone new here that's just sitting back and watching and enjoying the show, definitely go check it out because we have all of mine and Ryan's social media links over there. We got the merch store. We got my dumb thoughts on the blog. So check it out at the2dumbyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. A lot of cool stuff over there. www.the2dumbyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumbyinzers.com. Time to get into the trivia question of the day. Mike, Finch, put on your thinking caps. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. Here we go. This is a golf trivia because the U.S. Open is here in Oakmont. Here we go. The U.S. Open has been at Oakmont in Pittsburgh 10 times. 10 times, guys. When is the last time Oakmont hosted the U.S. Open? It's happening right now. Question of the day. The U.S. Open has been at Oakmont in Pittsburgh 10 times. When was the last year Oakmont hosted it? Looking for a year here, guys. Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every day right here on YouTube. All right, guys, the question of the day. The U.S. Open has been at Oakmont here in Pittsburgh 10 times. 10 times. When was the last year it was here? Of course, they're playing right now. So that's not the answer, Mike. I want to know the last year the golfers were here for the U.S. Open. Finch, I'm going to start with you. Finch, when do you think the last year was?
I'm going to say 2014.
2014. Not a bad guess. Is that your final answer?
Yeah, we'll go with it.
All right, let me lock you in on that. And you were locked in, Mike. The U.S. Open has been in Oakmont 10 times here in Pittsburgh. When was the last time that it was here?
I'm going to go 2021.
2021.
Yeah.
Not a bad pick. Is this your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, I'm going to give it just a minute. So in case anybody on the board does want to try a guess here, maybe somebody knows it. I don't know. Finch has 2014. Mike has 2021. The question of the day is the U.S. Open has been at Oakmont 10 times. When was the last year that Oakmont hosted it? Finch says 2014. Mike says 2021. Guys, the final answer, you guys were not far off. The final answer was, let me see. I see that Vegas has something up here real quick. Oakmont should be in the rotation for sure. It's brutal, which is great to see. I hate seeing the winning score being under 22. Guys, the correct answer was the last time they were here in Oakmont for the U.S. Open was 2016.
Oh, 2016.
Wow. So you guys were both close. I would have said something further back. So that just tells me you guys would have been closer than me. Again, Finch 2014, Mike 2021. The answer 2016. Very great guesses, guys. Great guesses.
7 guys are under par. 2 are even. Everyone else is over par.
Are you serious?
I'm loving it.
How's our guy from Cranberry doing?
I don't even know his name.
Finch, can you look it up real quick just so you can check?
Wow, that's insane. That course is disgusting. I love it, man. The rough, people were dropping the ball in it. They turned around, grabbed their clubs, came back and looked. They could not find their ball again. That's how deep the grass is there when you hit it off the fairway. I'm loving it, watching these guys struggle.
Matthew Vogt or Vogt?
Yes. Yeah, like VOG.
Yeah, VOGT.
Yeah,
and I'll check where he's at in the standings.
All right, yeah, he is. He's from Cranberry, guys.
He
so right
is plus 12, tied for 137.
Oh,
he will.
That's a rough round.
I'm just kidding. I don't know where he's from.
Yeah, projected cut is
from
plus
Cleveland.
4. Yeah, he's from Cleveland. Projected cut is plus 4. He has some ways to go. He's moved up 12 places.
Well, let's hope that things get better for him.
hey, he can be George Dongamine. He's plus 30.
Dong and me.
He's plus 30.
It always comes back to dongs with you.
It always comes back to dongs.
Comes back to dongs.
Yeah.
Punk ass.
I'm so glad you grabbed that, Fitz. I was going to tell you to grab that.
I almost said clip it, and I saw him go like this. Punk ass.
That's Mike singing Sublime. Yeah.
Your punk ass.
That's Mike singing Santeria.
Tell Sancho.
We will. I tell you what, we'll have that as a trivia sometime, and somebody's gonna have to guess what song that is, and we'll just have that clip.
Punk ass.
All right, guys.
Shit. That's why I love Fridays.
Tonight, 9:30, big show. I cannot wait. This is my favorite show. The 3 Gooners, Finch, Tim, and Ryan. They hit it tonight at 9:30 right here on the network. Guys, do check them out. They had me losing my mind last week. I was laughing so hard. I truly, honestly was. I'm not lying. I'm not just saying this to promote my buddy Finch. I was in tears. These guys, they hilarious show. Tune in tonight, 9:30, the 3 Gooners right here on the Two Dumb Yinzer Network on YouTube, everybody. It's going to be a good one. I enjoy you guys. I thoroughly do. I watched every single minute so far. And again, Mike, they had me laugh. I thought you were up last week, Mike, because I seen that at one point you like texted something or you commented something. But whenever I asked him afterwards, he's like, "Oh, I fell asleep because I had to go to work." I laughed.
It was like real quick. I popped in. They said something. I commented out.
Yeah, that's what it
at
was.
that point. Yeah.
The last 20 minutes of the show, it just went off the rails, man. I mean, we were having a pretty good discussion about Aaron Rodgers, and we were being silly, and goofy, and Tim just said something out of left field, and it just took the conversation a whole different direction. And let's just say it was a very exquisite time. We were laughing hard. I was cracking up.
I truly enjoyed it, Finch. I'll certainly be there tonight, and I'm sure I'll be laughing. Great job as always. I cannot wait till night. Again, everybody, check them out. The 3 Gooners, 9:30, right here.
Yeah, they were goat lovers, and I'm not talking about heaping praise upon Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Mario Lemieux. It's
the goats. Yes, I definitely love the goat
lovers.
segment.
There was discussions about sheeps and goats. Yeah. Tim has been blowing me up today about this Antonio Brown thing, so I'm sure he is just itching to talk about that. That is going to make for some good fodder,
guys.
tonight, so
Unfiltered, unapologetic. 9:30 Friday tonight, guys. Get over, check these guys out. I think you'll like them.
And
Again,
it is Friday the 13th, so
and it
who
is
knows?
Friday the 13th.
Who knows what kind of wildness?
I can't wait. Also, guys, it is also Father's Day. We hope everybody out there has a great Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you two gentlemen.
Yes, happy Father's Day to you guys as well, and to everybody that's listening. What else do we got here? Let's see. Father's Day, 3 Gooners. You're also going to want to check out, again, throughout the weekend, if you're going to watch the Pittsburgh Pirates, they do play at 2:20 every day throughout the weekend. That's today through Sunday. All 2:20 starts at Wrigley Field. They always get them early games out there. Paul Skeens today on the hill for the Pirates. The NHL, they'll be back in action tomorrow, Game 5 at Edmonton. The NBA tonight, Game 4 at Indiana. Indiana's up 2-1 on that. Mike, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they'll be taking on Indy 11 tomorrow at 7 o'clock p.m. The Gals, the Pittsburgh Riveters in soccer, they'll be taking on Erie Sports Center again. That's Sunday at 6 o'clock p.m. And, of course, our Pittsburgh Passion, they will be back in action tomorrow, finishing up their regular season against the Cincinnati Cougars. That game is at home at Slippery Rock University for the ladies. That is a 6 o'clock start, and they're always on YouTube, so check them out. I think you'll like them. They're not what you think of when you think of a girls' football team, I'll tell you that. These women, they're ballers. They hit. And they do it very well. And that's what Mackay says when she came on the show. She said she was the Tampa Bay quarterback for a long time. She loves this Pittsburgh team. She says, I've never seen women play like Pittsburgh women play. So, guys, do yourself a favor. Check out the Gals tomorrow. They do play the Cincinnati Cougars, which I think is a cool name for a women's football team, the Cougars.
It don't get much better than that.
It doesn't get much better.
It doesn't get a lot better than that. Yeah.
Nope.
But besides for that, guys, the mini camp is wrapped up. The next thing we got as far as our Steelers, as far as big dates, is camp here in a little over a month. But guys, we will still continue to dig, scrape, and try to get all the information of anything going on with the Steelers, Antonio Brown, whatever is going on out there that's Steeler related. We'll certainly stay on that and bring that to you along with all the rest of this stuff early Monday morning at our regular time. I do want to say thank you to everybody for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We couldn't and we wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much, everybody. I want to say thank you to everybody on the board. You guys always keep things interesting here on the show, and everybody who's at home or at work or in the car or at the gym, wherever you may be. Thank you as well. We really, really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also, I want to say happy Father's Day to everybody out there as well that may be listening or may see this. Happy Father's Day to you. I want to say thank you to Jen on the board. I want to say what's up to Jen on the board initially. But Jen, I do want to say thank you, as she does also say happy Father's Day to everybody. I think Richard's guess on the board was 2009 on the Oakmont. And Vegas, you too, my friend. I hope everything goes good for you this weekend. Everybody stay safe with all the craziness going on in this world. Mike, let me just go around the horn here. Anything before we start getting ready to take off for today?
No, I got nothing. Have a good weekend, everyone. Happy Father's Day to everyone. And I'm getting plastered this weekend. Just letting everyone know.
I gotta go to the DMV.
Oh,
I gotta send.
I'll drink for you. I
gotta go tomorrow. I gotta do my license renewal, and it's gonna be all day. I'm just dreading. I'm dreading tomorrow. But Finch, what about yourself, man? Anything before you ready to roll? Yeah.
Your punk ass.
Yeah.
Your punk ass.
My favorite version of Santeria, right there.
The soothing sounds of Big Sexy.
So it's besides for that, guys. Anything else before we wrap it up? Speak now, forever hold your peace. All right, guys. So as I said, we'll be back first thing Monday at our regular time. We'll do it all over again then. But until then, enjoy your weekend. I hope everybody has a safe weekend. Everybody has a great Father's Day, and celebrate them dads, because you know what? The women made us, but it took the dads to get us here too. So celebrate them. I'm sure Finch has a wiener joke in here somewhere, but no wiener jokes. All right,
wiener jokes. I'm disappointed. Yeah. Your punk ass.
That's good enough for me. We want to say thank you, everybody, so much. Thank you for all your support this week. It was a great week. Thank you again. Happy Father's Day. Stay safe. We'll be back Monday. If you haven't yet, hit the like, subscribe, and share button. We appreciate you. It'll help us out. Besides for that, guys, for Finch, check him out tonight, 9:30, the Three Gooners. For Mike in the Steeler Central Mobile Studio, myself, the two dumb Yinzers, everybody have a great Father's Day weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Bye-bye.